Last thing I expected to find in Crete on a treadmill on the other side of the world is a part of me that I had been missing for 15 years. And today I'm going to share with you I think it's extraordinary, this amazing experience I had in coming back to myself when I least expected it, and how you can too. So let's get right into it. Thrivesters, we're back, or I'm back. Not only am I back, I am like so back. I am back from 2 weeks abroad or outside the US. So for those of you in the 68 countries outside the US that are listening, this is for you. I was outside the US. Anyway, 2 weeks vacation, fantastic. No computer, no phone. I mean, I did on my phone, but I am so revived, regenerated, reset, refocused. I mean, it's like, it's palatable. So I wanted to talk to you about several situations on the road, but in particular, one. So today's topic is going to be about, or it is about, that thing about yourself or that version about yourself and how to get it back if you want it back. Sounds a little more convoluted than it is. Stay with me. Before I start, one of the things I want to tell you is I was sitting on the balcony in one of the hotel rooms. So I was just gone for 2 weeks. We stayed in probably 5 hotels, probably 9 or 10 flights. It was amazing. Travel, I'm sure you've heard the quote, travel is the only thing that you spend money on that makes you richer or more rich. Couldn't agree with you more. Different cultures, different people. The women, Thrivesters, let me tell you something. The Thrive is alive and it is global. I met so many women who are just like us. Just like us. New members of the Hive, welcome. So many stories to share with you. But today's story is particularly important because as I was experiencing this, it's like you're with me. It's like you're with me on my shoulder. And you're like a little bird on my shoulder. And I was saying to myself, oh, I cannot wait to tell the Hivesters about this. So, but before I begin, so pumped up. I feel so energized and it was such a reset. I want everybody to be able to feel that way. I want as many people to be able to feel that way. So sitting on the balcony in the last hotel room that we were in, sipping my coffee, feeling very European and bougie. And I said, you know what, this feels so good. I feel so refocused and reset. I want everybody to feel like this. I'm going to do a package. I'm going to do a quick, easy, down and dirty coaching package. I'm going to call it the reset package. 3 sessions, booked and cooked by the end of July. So what that means, for those of you not in the hotel business, I'm only going to offer it through July. So you need to be signed up and almost completed with the sessions by the end of July. This also happens to be my birthday month in July. So all of the planets are aligning. 3 sessions, half off. Half off. I don't know if I've ever done that before. I can tell you I will never do it again. And I just feel so strongly about if you need a reset, if you're struggling, if you're not struggling, or if you feel that something's off, if you are crushing it and at the same time wondering about what this next chapter is going to look like for you. You know what? It's interesting. Danny said this to me. He said, I forget where we were in one of the airports. He said, thriving is a choice and you help people choose. I mean, wow. That's it. So when he said that, that's one of the reasons why, again, I'm like, okay, this is it. So I'm offering the package, 3 sessions, 1 hour each, down and dirty, half off. I'm going to link to an application in the show notes. It will take you less than 5 minutes to complete it. Couple reasons why I do the application, and I think this is important for you to know. This is not about you have to apply to work with me. This is about if you're not willing to take 5 minutes to fill out this questionnaire and answer the questions I have for you, then you're not committed to the change. The other reason is because when you go through this questionnaire, it really gets you to think. It's like less than 10 questions. Gets you to think about what do you want the outcome of our time together to be? And if you're not sure what you want the outcome to be, that's another conversation because I want you to be happy and I want you to be like telling everybody all about the work that we did together. I want you to be thriving. So in the show notes, there you go. Okay, back to the regularly scheduled program. So here I am in a outdoor gym in Crete. Crete, like Greece, Crete. And okay, let me back up. So several years ago, I ran a couple of marathons. One of them was probably 20 years ago. It was probably 20 years ago I ran the Chicago Marathon. And then 15 years ago, I ran the Boston Marathon. So for those of you who are like, oh my God, you ran a marathon? Yes, running a marathon is a commitment. I did not qualify for this marathon. So if you qualified for the Boston Marathon, what that means for those of you who aren't runners is you have to run at a certain pace to qualify to get a number, particularly for the Boston Marathon. Boston Marathon is like the Super Bowl of marathons. I think it's the most watched sport in the United States or in the world. I can't remember, but it's a significant marathon. There's no way I would have qualified. I don't run that fast. I have no interest in running that fast. It's not even that fast. I just have no interest. No, not in my zone of influence. So I ran as a charity runner. So that's another thing you can do. You raise money for charity and they give you a number. So that's what I did. So I ran as a charity runner. And the day I ran the Boston Marathon was the last day I ran in, what did I say, 16 years, 15, 16 years. It's really interesting. So I lost all interest in running. First of all, it was not a great day for me. When you train for a marathon, you do, like we did, the marathon's 26.2 miles. We did, our longest run was, I think, 21 or 22 miles. So you know you can do it. You do this practice run, you build up to it, you know you can do it. So one of the other reasons why you do this practice run is because sometimes you're going to just have a bad run. Sometimes your foot's going to hurt, or you're going to get a cramp, or it's going to be raining, or, you had a martini the night before, whatever. So sometimes you have a bad run and you need to deal with that because you might have a bad run on the marathon and you can't stop. So that is what happened to me. I had a bad run that day. It just wasn't a great run. The crowds were great. Everything was great, but it was very, very difficult. But I did it and I have bragging rights the rest of my life. Fast forward 16 years, I have not run again. So I walk. I walk quickly. Sometimes I walk outside. Sometimes I walk on the treadmill. I love walking on the treadmill. I watch Netflix, the docudramas. That's my toxic trait. Love them. Or I'll listen to a podcast and I enjoy it. The downfall of that is that in order for me to get the amount of steps in that I want to get in, it takes me at least twice as long because I'm walking. I'm fine with that. I am at peace with that. Danny, my husband, he's tried to get me to start running again. And there's always something. Either I don't have the right sneakers, or I don't have a sports bra on, or it's not the right weather, or, oh, I just had breakfast. Like, I don't have water, anything. I have been through all of the excuses. So the reason why I'm telling you this is because I was at this outdoor gym in Crete and it was hot. This is Greece in the summer. Okay. So it was pretty hot. It was hot. I didn't have a sports bra on and I had like a tiny little bit of water. I didn't have the right sports bra on. I might have actually even not had socks on. I don't remember because I have issues with my feet. That's a whole nother story. Anyway, so I'm on there and I'm walking and it was an act of God that I could even get my AirPods connected. When you travel outside the US, sometimes you get Wi-Fi, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you need the code doesn't work, the gym's too far away. I mean, this was like a miracle. I believe it was a miracle that I got these podcasts, the AirPods to even work. So I got the AirPods to work, but none of my podcasts would come on. Okay. So I said, all right, I'm going to listen to some music, which I rarely do anymore because I walk. When I was running, I would listen to music. I had excellent playlists. So I started listening to music and whatever. And I'm like walking and I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah. Okay, great. And all of a sudden, after about 10 minutes, maybe, on comes Lynyrd Skynyrd, Give Me Three Steps. If you do not know this song, I recommend you look for it on Spotify or Pandora or wherever. And it is a great song. And it is a song that reminds me of my youth, whatever. It was a song we grew up with. So on comes Lynyrd Skynyrd. And it's got a very distinct beginning. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So it comes on and I start to like jog a little bit. I'm like, oh, I'm going to jog a little bit. Okay. And I start jogging a little bit and I turn it up. And then I jog a little more and I turn it up a little more. And then I raise the speed. And the next thing I know, I am running. And not only am I running, I promise you I'm gonna get emotional because this was such a moment. I'm running and I am back. The cadence, I hold my arms a certain way. Like when you're a distance runner, you hold your arms a certain way. It's just better ergonomics, better energy. I was going at a speed that was a speed I hadn't been in a long time. That the look, the eye of the tiger, I mean, I was my breathing, the cadence, everything. I was back. And I'm listening to the song and I'm back and I'm running and I felt this way that I have not felt in 16 years. 16 years. So I keep going. It was amazing. I keep going and it is on like Donkey Kong. So I keep going and then whatever, I pause because the song ends, I take a pause, and then another great song comes on. I'm gonna tell you what it was. The song was, I wrote it down. Oh my God, these were such great songs. "Gimme All Your Lovin'" by ZZ Top. So "Gimme All Your Lovin'" comes on. Okay, great song. I start dancing and singing and running to that song. So, I'll tell you what happened next, because you all know what happens when we do this. I pause for a minute, I straddle the treadmill, and that ponytail goes up high and tight. And we all know what happens when a woman fixes her ponytail and makes it tight and goes back to her workout. I mean, it was on. The woman next to me on the treadmill is looking at me like, okay, girl. I felt so good and I didn't want to stop. And it was mile after mile after mile. At one point, I had to back up on the treadmill a little bit because the sun was coming through. I said, as I mentioned, it was an outdoor gym anyway, and it was just hot. So I backed up a little bit and I looked behind me, and Danny, my husband, was on a weight bench behind me, just like looking at me like, what? Mouth dropped, jaw dropped. It's like, what is even happening over there? And I didn't, whatever. I just kept going. It was so fantastic. Song after song, I'm just looking. Bad Company, oh, Sweet Home Alabama, all the songs. So the reason I'm telling you this is because if there is a part of you or a piece of you or a former version of you that's gone, I'm not going to tell you to grieve that person. You can. I mean, if it's gone and you're never getting it back, okay, fine. And I am the last person that is ever going to tell you to wait because I'm not a very patient person. And I believe what you want, you go get. What I want to tell you here is she's not gone. She's not gone. This version of you or this part of your life that you want back. I wanted to start running again. I tried time and time and time again. I'm going to get emotional. It was not my time. For whatever reason, I was giving myself every bullshit excuse that I could. You heard most of them. Again, in Crete, hot, no water, barely any water, not a lot of water. Wrong sports bra, probably no socks, can't remember. All the reasons why it was not going to work out or why I could have just plodded along and walked and walked and walked, which no shame in that game. But, and I'm using the word but on purpose here, usually I don't use it, not that day. And not that day because it was my time. And all the other times when I was pushing myself, when other people were pushing me, when I was trying, when I was like, oh, my foot hairs, whatever, was not my time. And if I hadn't acted on that feeling, so Lynyrd Skynyrd comes on, right? There's a very distinct beginning to that song. And if you like it as much as I do, you know what I'm talking about. I could have said, oh, this is a good song and just kept walking. But I had this urge to run. I had this urge to pick it up and I acted on it. And if I hadn't followed through on that, I wouldn't have ran and it would have been fine. I would have, whatever. But I wouldn't have gotten back to this version of me. And she was never gone. She was never gone. She was just waiting. And what I want you to know is that if you want to get this part of you back, open yourself up to the signs. That's it. I'm not saying do it, just do it, do the thing, which is what I say all the time. I'm saying open up yourself to the possibility that this version of yourself or this part of yourself that you love and you cherish and you want to get back I don't care who you are. If you are starting out at work, if you are a new mom, if you are a mom whose kids are flying the coop, if you are retiring, if you are at the top of your game and you're a CEO, I don't care who you are. If there is a part of you that you want to get back, she is not gone. She's waiting. She's waiting for you. And I could not wait another minute to share this with you because I didn't even know that I didn't feel like myself until I felt like myself. And it was Lynyrd Skynyrd that brought me back. And this piece of you, it's not gone. It's not gone. You simply have to look for the signs and open yourself up to the possibility that she's there. She's just waiting. She's just waiting for you to come home. So that's my quickie for today. I believe I'm going to call this episode How Lynyrd Skynyrd Called Me Out of My BS because I'm not going back. I'm not going back. It felt so good. By the way, later on that morning, I was having breakfast with Danny and he said, he's the best, just the way he approaches me. He said, yeah, haven't seen you run like that, like ever. What was going on? And I said, I'm back, baby. I am back. So here's what I want you to do. If there is a part of you that you miss, think about her and just be patient. When you're ready, you'll see it. When you're ready, you will see it. And when you're ready, you will act on it. I promise you. So what else do I have for you? Special coaching package. Yes. If you are not signed up for the Thrive Hive Buzz, that's what I'm calling our weekly newsletter. There's a link there. It's a free newsletter. It's awesome. Building community. And finally, if this episode resonated with you, or if you're thinking about somebody and you're like, ooh, you know what? She should listen to this. Send it to them. Send it to them. Take a screenshot, send it to them, forward it to them, whatever you want to do. We are growing this community. I mean, 69 countries. Hello. And also, I want to continue to grow the community because the more we grow the community, the more we can spread the message, the more we can build the community, the more we can start meeting in person or meeting on Zoom or whatever we want to do. So that's my message for you. And here's what I have coming up. Coming up, I'm looking because there would have been so many ideas. Toxic productivity. That's a good one. We have the Thrive is Alive and Global. We have, I'm going to look for another one. I can't remember the rest of them. Oh yeah. Routines, your routines. That's a good one. Are they comforting or are they keeping you stuck? We have so many topics. If there is something that you want to talk about or you want my take on, reach out to me, nancymadoff@nancymadoff.com. You can hit me on Instagram. All the links are in the show notes. Until then, Thrivesters, just know that thriving is a choice and every day you get to choose. So go out there and thrive like you mean it.